Hey folks, Prepper Princess. Don't forget to check out my website, prepperprincess.com. And if you are interested in more personalized videos, you can also support me on my Patreon page. I will leave the links in the description below. So we are in some pretty extreme economic times. And I am somebody who makes above the poverty level for the United States, but I spend less than the poverty level, which is $12,760 per year. I already made a video on that, which you can go ahead and check out in the history of my channel. I'll also leave a link in the description or at the end of this video. So there are a few things that I want to go over today, which is about essentially the fact that we have been brainwashed since birth to buy things. And I think that the government is at this point for a long time actually to try and get us into debt. As you saw in the beginning of this video, I made some popcorn and watched a free movie as opposed to going to a movie theater and spending 12 bucks on a ticket plus 5 bucks on popcorn. So I saved myself $17 by doing the exact same thing at home. Also, as you can see, I cut my own hair today. It was a lot shorter than I thought. I cut it much shorter than I expected. I didn't expect for it to be this short, but given the fact that my hair is usually up in a bun all the time, it's not really that big a deal and it'll grow out within a few months. So, I thought I had my scissors with me, I guess not. So there's a few things, you know, we are inundated with, everyone has a TV in their house. You know, 99.9% of the 99% of the population has a television in our home. And what do those televisions have on them? They have a lot of commercials. Each and every commercial is, of course, a business that is trying to make money by selling a product to you. They are trying to sell the illusion that once you buy their product, it's going to somehow magically make you happy in life. One thing that I have noticed throughout the last 15 years is that as a society in the United States, we have a tendency in our 20s, 30s, and 40s to accumulate items to fill up our homes. And then in our 50s, 60s, and 70s, we spend the second half of our lives getting rid of those items that we accumulated in our homes because we come to some sort of magical realization that we no longer need them or we never really did. When I go to purge through my personal items and make more space, make more room, I no longer do two things. I no longer look at the item and say, okay, well, I've only worn this item 2 times and I spent $20 on it. So if I donate it right now, I'm not getting my cost per use out of the item. I'm not getting what I paid into it. I don't do that anymore. I also do not look at an item and think, maybe I'll wear it in the future, so I'm going to hold on to it. No. Or maybe I'm going to fit into it, so I'm going to hold on to it for the future. I don't do those things. What I do at this point is I look at something and I say, do I absolutely love this item? Do I love it? If I do not love it, it does not add value to my life, and I donate it or get rid of it. It's the same thing when I go shopping for clothing or whatever. And as you know, I do not go clothing shopping. In fact, I am wearing the exact same shirt that I wore in one of my first 5 videos that I made on YouTube either 4 or 5 years ago. Again, I will go ahead and leave the link in that description, but it was a video about how to save money in the bathroom. I do put bricks in one of my toilets. In the other toilet, I actually have a valve that allows me to use less water, so that's how I save water on both of my toilets. But anywho, or anyhow, anyway, anyways, so we're inundated with commercials, and I want you guys to realize that that is a psychological form of brainwashing. Literally, if you look up the definition of brainwashing, it is something that is drilled into your head over and over and over again until you believe it. Now, because each commercial is different, we assume that we are not being brainwashed and that we are not sheeple. That's not really correct. If things are getting drilled into our head that we need to purchase something in order to fulfill ourselves, then that is a form of brainwashing. So I just want you guys to reconsider some things in your life. Reconsider what truly makes you happy. Is purchasing an item going to fulfill you in some manner, or are you going to take the item home, leave it in a box? In fact, that's something that you can consider when you're going to purchase an item. Picture it dusty, shoved into the back of your closet, and then see if you still want that item. Now, there are a lot of people out there who are suffering on really hard times. There are people who are on disability or extremely, extremely low incomes, well below the poverty line. There are people who are living on Social Security, on the very minimum of Social Security, and they are able to actually get by. Now, these people, in fact, are doing better than I am. I never said that I was the absolute best at everything. I am the best at everything for my personal lifestyle. If worse came to worse, I would be able to shut off the electricity because I've got solar and I've got generators. If worse came to worse, I'd be able to shut off the water and go and fill up water buckets in 5 gallons out of the river. If worse came to worse, I would cancel my medical insurance. If worse came to worse, I would not pay my property insurance. Because if you don't have the money, you can't have it. Okay, that's another thing. Debt. We're inundated in the United States with debt. Just get another credit card. Just get another credit card. Get another credit card. Put it on the card. Now, that is a psychological issue that a lot of people cannot get through their heads. If you can't afford it, you can't have it. It's not yours. You're paying with money that is not yours, that you have not yet earned. Now, if you're on an extremely low income and you can't afford property insurance, you can't have it. If you're on an extremely low income and you can't afford medical, you have no way to pay for it, I'm sorry, you can't have it. You can't have it. Now, other people will cheat people. They'll steal, they'll borrow, they'll rob from Peter to pay Paul. They'll juggle credit cards. That's not the way we are made to work, and that's not the way that it should be. If you don't have it, you can't buy it. Another thing is that through these product placement and these commercials, we are taught that we need things that we literally do not need. You do not need paper towels. You can cut rags and use reusable rags, throw them in the laundry, and then just use them as you would a paper towel. You can even put them in a special container so that every time you would need a paper towel, you can just use one of these rags that you cut up out of an old sheet or an old shirt. We do not need disinfectant, antibacterial, antimicrobial cleaning supplies. This was drilled into our head. These bacteria and microbes and all these other things, they're supposed to be absorbed by our bodies so that we have the ability to fight off infection in the future. That's something that you really should take into consideration. If you are into just get bleach and water. Bleach, 1 part bleach diluted with 1 part water, put it in a reusable spray bottle, and there's your disinfectant, antibacterial, microbial, crazy stuff. You don't have to go out and spend $4 on Lysol wipes every time you want to rub down your counter. I do want to talk briefly on shampoo, conditioner, and soap. Regardless of what you think, mankind has survived for a millennia without these products by using simple water. Some people would even bathe in mud, and it was used to exfoliate the skin. That's why nowadays we have mud masks and clay masks. It's very good for your skin. Now, a lot of people assume that if they do not shower every single day, depending on your job, that you're just gonna stink up to high heaven and nobody's gonna wanna be in a room with you, and HR is gonna call you into the office and say you need to bathe more often. Now, I am working on bathing every other day. I cannot it's hard for me to get past showering every day or bathing every day, whatever you say. So I'm slowly personally working on taking a shower every other day as opposed to every day. Today is my non-shower day, so I did not shower today, and no, I do not stink. I did what's called a scrub up. So you can clean your parts without actually getting into the shower. It's sort of like thinking, okay, in order to need a bath, do I have to bathe in a swimming pool? No. In order to get clean, do I need a full 20-minute shower with hot water? No. You can do it with a couple of cups of water. It's called washing up, and that's what they used to do in the olden times. If you look up online, vanity, not the type of vanity that you think of in a bathroom right now, but a antique vanity or antique wash tub vanity, you can go ahead and look those up, and it was a thing. That's how people, they would usually take a bath once a week. They would have to haul water from a well, heat it up themselves, put it in a small bathtub tin, and that would be their bath for the week. But in between, they weren't absolutely disgusting. They had wash-ups. Shampoo, conditioner, leave-in treatment, and hair products. Now, there are people with different types of hair. There is the no poo method, which is not using shampoo and you just clean your hair with water. Now, I have met several of these people, and I tried it for about a month, and I just went back to using shampoo and conditioner because I already have it on hand. I actually have something like a 4-year stockpile, but I only pay 87 cents for shampoo and conditioner. And then I water it down to about, I'd say 20-25%. So it takes my 87-cent bottle of shampoo and it elongates it, so it's really only a 50-cent bottle that, you know, the equivalent of a 50-cent bottle that lasts me long. And my shampoo, conditioner, and body wash lasts per bottle about a year, an entire year. I don't go in there and glob it on there like, glob it on my hand like syrup. I just use a quarter size drop, and that's what I use. So if you must have shampoo and conditioner, use less. If you can't use less, water it down. If you can, water it down and use less. So when it comes to soap, now soap is extremely inexpensive. Back in the 1800s, it was a long process with wood ash and lye and animal fats and whatever sort of good smelling scents you could attempt to cram in there. But it was an extremely long process, which made soaps extremely expensive. Well, you can get 3 bars of Ivory soap at the dollar store for $1. You can get I believe it's a 4-pack of Irish Spring for $2. So they're extremely cheap, but you don't have to use as much as you think. Now, I personally use bar soap. Most people use body wash. As you know, body wash is greatly, it's mostly water is what it is. If you look at the ingredients, it's mostly water. So a bar soap is going to be a lot more concentrated and you need a lot less of it. I do recommend exfoliating pads or exfoliating gloves, and you just rub the soap on the gloves and that is enough for your entire body. A bar of soap will last me 2 or 3 months for 1 bar of soap. So you're looking at $1 a year for soap when people are, you know, using way, way more than they should. It's just like my laundry detergent video, if you guys remember that one. When you look at a laundry detergent bottle, there are small lines on the cap that you can't see because the person who creates the merchandise or the company that creates the merchandise wants you to use more. So they don't tell you that you need to use less. It's on the instructions, which nobody ever reads. And then of course they make the lines appear almost invisible and you can barely see them. So in this case, folks, I just want you to consider having less. Now, I'm not talking about a minimalist lifestyle. I'm talking about keeping things that you love. Not things that you think you might use in the future or might give to someone someday. Just get rid of them and declutter your life and declutter your mind. When it comes to shopping for clothing, how many times have you thrown away or donated clothing because it has been ripped to shreds and can no longer be used? It's almost never. People just have a tendency to upgrade their wardrobes. Do you really need to upgrade your wardrobe, or can you not just get by but thrive with the clothing that you already have? If you are growing out of your clothes, I'm not talking about teens and tweens and people who are still growing, but people who have reached adulthood. Are you replacing your wardrobe every year because maybe you've gained some weight? Maybe instead of purchasing an entire new wardrobe, you should consider, you know, changing your eating habits so that you can fit into your clothes. for the rest of your life. Again, the shirt that I'm wearing fits the same, and I had it in one of my videos 5 years ago. I must have bought it 8 years ago at a thrift store for $1.50, and I still have it. I still have most of the clothes that I have purchased at thrift stores. Anytime I feel myself getting to the point where I'm about to grow out of them, I will change my eating habits and my exercise routine in order to get into better shape so that my clothes will properly fit. Cut my own hair. There are things that you can do where you don't have to spend any money that has been brainwashed into us since birth, just with commercials and watching television. And it is embedded in our DNA to have more. It's embedded in our DNA to keep up with the Joneses. Because in old tribesman days, the people who had the most were the ones who had the most power, were most revered, and were most sexually attractive. That's not the way of the world anymore, folks. You can be completely content with less, and you can not only be content, you can be extremely happy with so much less. Do what you can with what you've got. Prepper Princess out.
Cute boy. Mommy loves you. Mommy loves you. Look at that smile. Look at that smile. Who's a happy boy? Who's a happy doggy? You. You're a happy doggy. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, you're so cute. Yes. Who's a cutie? Who's a cutie? You got that crazy look in your eyes. I can see it. You look all crazy. Oh. Oh, you got my thumb. You got my thumb. Mommy loves you. Look at you. You're so cute.